back to it again. Don't die like that. Don't die like, come on. Sometimes you're on the struggle bus. And you gotta get re-warmed up to that. I feel like there's another thing I wanted to do, but I can't remember what it was. I don't think this was it, but this was still one thing I wanted to do. Right back into it. It's weird that sometimes they don't all spawn at the same time. Why was that guy so far to the side? I unironically believe that until I have 100 more attempts of this with the spin strat, that the spinning is the hardest part of the attack right now, for me. It's further to the left than I thought it would be. Gotta stop doing that. More, more, more! Yours up 11. Attack is disgusting.
You're not supposed to die there. Come on.
Head up. Outsourcing for this is the Outsourcing Foreign Tax Bureau. Yeah, and you owe me money, so you owe this tax bureau money, so better pay up. Complain about my company's representative. You may take a complaint up with the non-existent HR, but you can only do that. What was? I guess I had to go left. That was a disgusting line, though. You can take a complaint up with the non-existent HR after you pay off your $10,000 of taxes. And then you must immediately get back to your job in the mines, or else you will be sent to gulags. Your complaint must be filed in handwritten letter, double-spaced, with proper handwriting, otherwise it will be turned down immediately. And 50% of all complaints will be turned down automatically. And there's a chance that after the first sentence, our non-existent HR may ignore the complaint altogether. Instances of theft of breast milk and plutonium from the company's fridge. Our legal team has informed me that I should be careful about what I say, but I will say that we do not support theft of plutonium or breast milk here, and we are looking into the matter. Here at the Foreign Tax Bureau something, we highly value breast milk and plutonium, so we are working on this. However, there has not been an official lawsuit filed or resolved, so we cannot speak to this matter in definite detail. If you have a complaint, you may file it with the Federal Breast Milk Bureau. I had to report you. You had to report me for. Sometimes this deck is disgusting. Oop. Falling off. Fair, it is 7:30 on Friday after I've gotten 7 hours or fewer of sleep over the past 3 days. I did once again get caffeine for today, but I should hopefully sleep in today. Which means I won't hopefully need caffeine for tomorrow, because I'd like to, 2 large sources of caffeine 2 days in a row now. I'd like to avoid that. Take breaks more often. I did on Wednesday. My birthday. Realistically, I need to practice more often. But the problem is, when there's a lot of things you need to do, it's hard to motivate yourself to do certain things. Especially if you don't have to do them at given times. You're like, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. Okay, fine, I'll take a break right now. I'm going to take a 1-minute pee break and I'll do some runs. Do a quick set of impossible spell card idle list to train your reflexes. Whew. Sounds like a plan. What a great idea. You know how much I love it. Love ISC item lists. It's my favorite thing in Touhou. At least ISC, at least impossible spell card item list is recognized by the game, so I can actually appreciate that achievement, unlike an LNN. Get LNNs happen. Possible, but you gotta go one day at a time, you know? Says all LNN. All Windows LNN. SOC has had all Windows LNN for a little bit now. I don't know exactly how long. You can check Maribel Hearn's site for that. And KP Neon just got all specifically all shot types, all Windows. There's a number of people that have all Windows games, at least one, but KP Neon and SOC are the ones who have all shot types, all Windows. No one has every game, including PC 98. Partially because I don't know the exact specifics, but Japanese players, PC98 emulation, question mark, question mark. Japan is not a fan of that type of emulation, so that's why. Because Sock is Japanese, I believe, and I think KP Nyan is as well. I don't know that for fact, so they can't play PC98. So no one has everything. Also consider that there's literally only one person that has highly responsive to prayers LNNs, and that's Moo. He has LNN in both routes, but he's the only one who has anything in highly responsive to prayers. Last I checked, and I don't know if he has any other LNNs. He might. I wouldn't be surprised. I know he's played some other games, at least some PC98 games as well, but yeah, I've clearly set that as my goal. One day at a time. I'd love to get LNN in bulk, but the problem is I have one, and getting them is going to be a massive grind. Getting another one, this game, is a lot of work. And when I get this game, the next one will be a lot of work. I also could probably bulk them better. Like, after I finished my PCB one, I could have gone through and tried to grind all the PCB ones. Probably be more efficient to do it that way after I'm doing them, but I don't really feel like doing that. I'm interested in getting other shot types, but, like, that is not at all in my scope for this year or something. And that's partially why, like, stuff like TWC isn't for me, because I don't have intentions of being specific game specialist, right? Like, my intention is when I get an LNN of this game is to go to another game, right? Give me the LNN will make the next one easier. In a sense, yes. There's a lot of nuance and context to it, but yes. First, the gap, get on, she'll get me there, and they kill me or let me live there. It's also weird because, like, some of the LNNs are a little, like, weird in terms of... What is that wall? Holy shit, Darcy. Because, like, 3, 9, and 19, it's like, they do have LNNs asterisk. In terms of official categorization, they don't, but... GFW has an LNN. The fighting games don't have. At least they're not in the Maribel Hearn category. I don't know what the fighting games would look like for LNNs. I'm sure there are people who have tried some challenges or some shit in... Yeah, I did that one. I messed that one up. In the fighting games, I don't know the extent of it. I feel like most people who are good at fighters would rather just play those games of versus. Don't spoiler through the entire game, no deaths, yeah. Some people speedrun them. Shoot the bullet and double spoiler. I feel like I've heard some people like joke and or comment about trying to do like deathless, shoot the bullet or double spoiler, but like I don't know. I don't think it's ever actually been done. Harder than proper LNN, probably. And by probably, I mean almost definitely, yeah. Probably a big reason as to why no one's ever done it. To my knowledge. Not all-knowing in terms of the Touhou scene. I don't pay attention to... I don't pay that strong of attention, so, you know, someone could be like, oh, insert X and X, they have it. To maybe save routes. I feel like a lot, you know, there's... I think a lot of it would be relatively safe, but I feel like there's an extent where it's like, how much can you make safe, right? Crap. As someone who's played through those games at least once, like, I could believe that there's a number of attacks that, like, you could make significantly more consistent and even have some, like, really cheesy and safe routing for, but there's enough there that like... I mean, it's similar to an LNN in some regards, where it's like, okay, you know, you could probably route out, like, clear off some things that might otherwise look terrifying, but there's got to be only a limit to that. Also, is it a late night party for you, Alan? I'm surprised you're up this late. Isn't it like midnight for you? I really gotta focus up on that part. I'm playing so loose right now. So what happens when it's late for me? It's 7:30. It's 7:45. Bit late, but we can. That's fair. I mean, I guess that is why I usually stream till 11 on days like on Friday, where I normally stream till at 9:30 at the latest. Like on Saturday, I'm not usually too surprised to see physically Europeans because it's generally quite early enough when I stream on Saturday. And even then, normally throughout the week, it's a little surprising at times, but it is what it is. But like on Friday, it's like, this is the late day. Really, Touhou Mute, just gonna get runs going. Yeah, it happens, right? Okay, I'm all out of caffeine and take today. After passing dorming down. Yeah, that's the worst. The worst is when you go through and you do the hard parts, you do all the hard dodges and everything, you feel so good, and then you just die to the thing that you just... Even something that's definitely lethal, but you just feel like you shouldn't. That's one of the hard parts of the LNN is, or even the LNB, whatever grind you're going for, is just accepting that it's not always going to go well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have. I can't wait to sleep in tonight. It's gonna be so good after I've not been able to get the most sleep this week. Oh, it's gonna be great. At the end of the day, getting more experience is almost always a good thing. As long as you can avoid having a self-destructive mindset about it. Hope that green guy doesn't piss in my face. You ever just want to say something, but you're trying to word it as best as you can in your mind, and you just can't figure out how the hell to word it? Holy crap! I made it past stage 1. This was incredible. Mouse face. I guess I've never really never thought about it like that, but I guess thinking about it in my head, the way it's set up, it could definitely look like that. I can see it. Although it doesn't have the flat bottom on the bottom circle, so... It's weird how, like, I mean, I get it because it was, like, one of the originals, and it was a big deal back then, but, like, I just find it so curious how Disney is, like, so much with the Mickey Mouse stuff. Like, it's literally, like, their branding icon and everything. I don't know if I've ever, like a single person who, like, likes Mickey Mouse. Okay, well that's a very big gap, which is opposite of when you did this earlier. VHS. I remember growing up, we had like a... I have an itch on my face at a really bad time. I remember there was like a Mickey Mouse Christmas special or something that we had on VHS. Actually, it might still be in the entertainment stand that's behind me. Along with the large collection of older Looney Tunes content, also on VHS. I know that one's in there. And the entertainment stand behind me. Remember, kids, mud spelled backwards is dumb. Classic. I should have just gone up and around. Like, I'll stay on the bottom for this one. No world you should do that. My favorite Neptunia girl mages. Mages was always far away my favorite. I mean, I like a lot of them. Neptune's solid, but like... the answer was definitely mages. In fact, she's like one of the only characters I've like gone out of my way to like find up all the fan art I could ever find of that character, because like there was so little, at least for the time. So like all the fan art I ever found of her, like I'd stumble upon it, save it all. Mages, M-A-G-E-S with a period. There's a lot of characters that are based after companies and such. Just because she has blue hair, she must be Tenchi. Tenchi can only ever dream of being as incredible. It's also why the numbered games like 1 and 2 are like some of the best, because like there's some of the few games with mages as playable character. Can't post image links while I'm dodging bullets. SMH my head. That's a peculiar picture you picked too. The first I found, yeah, and in your pictures that you kept of girls who'll step on you. It's first you found. Where are you browsing for images? It's not an official image by any means, so it has to be. What are you on, Gelboru or whatever? What are these little suspicious gaps she's giving me right now? Don't cat react me. Attack's annoying, but I respect this attack a lot. Because it exists as nothing more than just a patience test. That's all this attack is. It's just pure patience. Okay, you don't have to find the fan service images. Like, there's going to be normal pictures. Like, when I have to Google and I type in, like, insert character, like, I usually... First few images are fine, are, like, official portraits and stuff from the games. Now, to be fair, the Neptunia games are filled to the brim with fan service. Part of the reason I haven't touched them in, like, a long time. High-end fan service content isn't really my cup of tea as much anymore. Well, be old as I've gotten older, I've started caring for those things. I'm becoming a boomer. Because you can become one of those. I don't know, I used to always like a lot of traditional anime, like, stereotype stuff, and just, like, I'd be able to enjoy stuff, even if it was more traditional and or cringe and stuff. And, like, I have one of my closest friends who would always complain about anime girls and just how over the top some anime related stuff is. I was like, it's fine. It's funny. And the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, you know, I start to agree with him. I moved myself so far up because I mispredicted the angle, and I thought it was way lower than it actually was, so it pushed me so high. Whiteheart's very solid. Although better be careful, because if you dig too deep into that, you're just gonna get into the Lolly Kingdom, and you might get some weird questions there. Whiteheart itself is not one I'd say, but some people won't agree with me on that statement. And if you go into the other games where you get the CPU sisters, then you get into some questionable content territory. I gotta not bash my head into a rock. I'm not particularly expecting much today. It's a late day and it's a sleepy day. But still see what we can get. You know, maybe one reason why I've liked Touhou so much is because it's so anime-esque, and it fits right into the anime scene. Don't tell some people, they'll get pissed if they hear me say this. But it's also not your... I also don't engage with it in its actual anime content. The one thing that disappointed me years ago is the fact that Yamame is trying to piss in my face. The fact that, you know, traditional anime content is not my ally not my alley anymore. But I used to be able to sit down and just watch stuff, have a good time. Sometimes I just sit there and it's like, I can only ever watch things based on nostalgia. Also, it does not look like Mickey Mouse in my eyes. I don't see the Mickey Mouse head, personally. Like, I kind of see why you get that assumption, but I don't see it just because it's not the flat bottom. Going on one. Yeah, I've kind of learned that if you play high on the left wall, you give yourself enough clearance. As long as you drop slowly, but it's one of those things that's taken me a while to like get down fairly well. Still not perfect, but the 3 circles. Yeah, I just don't see it on that attack though. Maybe I'm just not Disney brained enough, but gotta be one of those Disney adults who gets fucking every other month they're going to like Disney World or shit, and they're just obsessed with all that lifestyle. Parts like this are so annoying because it's like, I want to play greedy for the grays. It literally means nothing, but like I kind of want to play greedy for the grays. Like, it's funny. And like, there's something about me that I like seeing big number go burr. And it's like early. It's specifically because it's early game, and I'm like, it's kind of slow. So it's like, oh, I could play a little greedy, try to greed out a bit of grays. It's a terrible idea. It'll get me killed sometimes. Like in PCB when I was border maxing on stage 1 and 2, trying to see how many borders I can get myself to get. It's a bad idea, but sometimes I try to do it to pass the time, and it bites me in the ass. I guess I should be careful with those though. With the I'll be careful with the self-imposed challenges. Grades maxing on box? How much grades can you even get on boxes? Like, you can kind of follow the line in the middle. I guess if you're like high enough, maybe you can get 2 lines worth. The bubbles aren't worth it to try to even bother grazing them, so... Realistically, hard as if you constantly shoot. Probably borderline unwinnable, if that, like, unwinnable. Theoretically, it's probably winnable in certain situations, but I feel like if you just sit there, spam shoot into into the one you're not supposed to shoot, I feel like it's realistically it could be just impossible. Maybe possible with really certain luck, but I feel like it's like when I accidentally shoot for half a second too late, like a bit of non-good luck kills me for only half a second too late. If you do that, like, for 2-3 seconds in a row, like, what do you, like, I feel like it's virtually impossible. I'm gonna say that, and there's gonna be some video of someone doing it like that, so I don't want to use actually impossible, but I feel like it fundamentally might be. Oh, I hate that angle. It's like, it looks like it's going to be lower than it is, and it's not. It got me last time. It almost got me this time, but unfortunately it was the last angle, so I was able to play high enough. This deck's interesting, because I see people take different lines on it. They all end up basically about the same, but it's always interesting to see sometimes, like, the different lines people have learned. And that's one of those attacks where, like, it really doesn't matter which line you take, because it basically all ends up being the same. But yeah, 11. I do feel that a constant shooting box specifically for constantly shooting into the wrong one is definitely harder than Cat's Walk. Like, not even in question there. The mountain gives you a weird line. What are you gonna do? This is not a day for handling weird lines. Catwalk's still a hard spell for you. Yeah, I'd say so. On average. Like, sometimes, like it can often depend from time to time. Like, I can have hot streaks, but... I mean, with over 2,800 attempts, I am averaging just over a quarter cap rate. Historically. Like, my more recent cap rate is definitely better on it. Like, I've had good cap rate stretches, so... Like, historically, it's still only just over a quarter, where even attacks like PETA are closer to... Or not PETA, UNR are closer to 1/3. I don't think Catwalk is that much worse than, like, UNR. But I think that's a little contextual. UNR absolutely can be worse, and oftentimes is worse for me. I feel like the weird thing is that UNR has a lot more of a is a lot more volatile. Not that Catwalk isn't. Catwalk absolutely is.
Oh, I tapped back to the left. Come on, I had that one.
Backs in full shoot. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's probably impossible. Here, let's... Yeah, but, like, you're talking about something that's, like, fundamentally impossible. Here. Like, okay, it's definitely feasible. Although I feel like it's also a bit RNG-based. It also doesn't actually lower her health bar to shoot the wrong one, so it would only end up being a time walk. Or time walk. It would be a timeout if you wanted to do that strat. Because Catwalk. Yeah, that's what I was saying by that, is UNR is a lot more volatile, because UNR can be a lot better than Catwalk, in my opinion. Good luck Catwalk is great, but Catwalk has a higher skill floor, in which if you want to be gooder, which isn't a term, but I'm going to use it regardless, at Catwalk, you have to put more into it. It's gonna take more time on average to get a handful of good Catwalks than a handful of good UNRs, in my opinion. Because UNR can be quite generous. Catwalk is a lot harder to, like, its generosity doesn't bail you out as much as UNR's. So it's more consistent, but, like, a bad UNR is the worst attack in the run. Like, a disgusting UNR is going to be harder than Catwalk. As long as the Catwalk isn't super disgusting, but, like, most Catwalks feel like they have better play around than like the very disgusting UNRs. In my opinion. Different people struggle differently with different attacks. But UNR, the speed of the suns and just the complete randomness of the blue bullets, just allows so much volatility. Well, Cat's Walk, really, like, the main volatility in it is just how spread the bullets are. Like, sometimes they form really nice lines, sometimes they do really weird lineups, but it's definitely less volatile. More consistently bad, but it's less situationally bad. My face when I'm trying to do a destroy all the boulders on stage 1 challenge. But then it's a self-imposed challenge. Shaking my head. Can give you an impossible wave. I wouldn't be surprised if it technically could. Although, generally with Touhou attacks, the difference between, like, there is, like, putting something as, like, impossible is usually, like, an asterisk. It's kind of hard to have, like, true impossibility, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's possible. I've seen it definitely on Pet of Flare. Like, I've seen the quintuple, like, wide shot. I forgot who posted the clip of Everlasting at one point having, like, the most disgusting peta spread I've ever seen. Peta definitely has its high rolls too, but I feel like it would take an awful lot of things to, like, to line up so perfectly to make either of those, like, truly impossible. Like, we're talking, like, Pokemon Shiny odds, probably. Well, who knows, maybe worse. Maybe better. I'm just kind of pulling that out of my ass. Possible spellcard is not impossible, true. Doing false advertising, unbelievable. We need to go on Twitter and cancel him. You know what my favorite parts about the internet is? Is whenever I, like... Because, like, I try to avoid a lot of social media and things. And then, like, the further I stay away from it, the happier and better mood I get in. And then I'll start, like, being like, maybe people aren't so bad. And then I'll just, for whatever reason, just see, like, something that reminds me, right, this is why I don't like people. I saw someone talking the other day. I don't use Twitter. I have a Twitter. I don't use it anymore. I used to use it to post whenever I was streaming, but I just stopped doing that. I was like, I don't care to do it. I don't care anymore. But I saw someone was posting. This is something I've heard of many times over the years. There's a whole argument in a thread on Twitter of whether a 28-year-old dating a 22-year-old is pedophilia. And I'm like, this is, you know, and I saw this that someone was talking about this conversation there. I was like, I'm reminded once again why humans are just so dumb. Whether or not half of it's bait or not bait doesn't matter. It's just it's one of those weird things where it's like whenever I happen to stumble upon something like that, it's like I hate it, but I kind of like it. Because seeing idiots fills me with just... It does fill me with a weird sense of joy. Reddit, I'm fortunate that I never got into Reddit when I was younger, and so I do technically have a Reddit account. Social media, really the only social media I exist on is Discord, and even then it's extraordinarily small. I don't know, one of my favorite pastimes for a time, I haven't done this in forever, was, you know what's something I love? I have a soft spot for Danganronpa. It's classic nostalgia for me. Love me some Danganronpa. One of my favorite pastimes that me and one of my friends would do is we just go to the Danganronpa subreddit once every, like 3 months and just browse through and just enjoy just how terrible it is. Oh, it is so terrible. And to just scroll through and just have a laugh at how ridiculous it is. And we don't do that for another like 3 months, and then we just go be like, ah, let's go look through some just fucking atrocity. I think it depends on how you use Discord. When I originally got Discord, it was a single chat for the purpose of playing games with... Huh? That was, like, inside me. Not in a sexual way. It was, like, for the purpose of having, like, a place to, like, talk with and, like, play games whenever we're online with, like, my friends. Like, my brother and a bunch of our friends. Because we used to use Skype for a while, and then Discord just became the significantly better and easier Skype. And then that's what I used it for. Like 30 servers have all muted and only interacting with 3. Not in a sexual way. What's the problem? Those bullets were inside me. And it wasn't sexual. I said no lies. Nothing I spoke was outside of the truth. And I've hopped in a few Discords over time, but like... There's only 3 I ever, like, look at. And that's my own. One I have with me and my friends. And every once in a while, I look in the TRS Discord. There are others I'm a part of, but, like, generally, the only other Discords I engage with in the slightest are the Katsuki Records one, solely for the sake of knowing whenever a new song drops, because they always have notifications for that one. Because otherwise, don't be in a fucking Discord for a band. It's all a bunch of fucking freaks who are obsessed with them, like, in weird ways. And other Discords for memes. Like, there are a handful of Discords I browse once in a while solely for the sake of memes. I hate the LNNs. Mental images. Well, maybe you just shouldn't think about these mental images. Yeah. Games, That's why I use the Egg Discord. Because there's some top-tier memes. In fact, most of the Touhou memes I post in my Discord are ones from that Discord. For various mods. That's fair. But most of those, like, mods, like, those, like, fan servers and stuff like that for, like, oh, here's, you know, about X thing. Like, I've been in a number of Pokemon ones for, Rob Hacks, other related things. Is as I join them, I get what I'm looking for, and then I leave. Messages, I don't have that many, and it's usually me asking about something TW. You won't find me posting explicit images, 11. Hate to break it to you. Being interactive with my friend, yeah, like I said, like all the Discords that like I actively like regular in. It's like it's the one with me and my friends whenever we play things. Although we don't do as much nowadays anymore because people are busy, but definitely not as much as we used to. Where we play fucking every like 6 nights a week. We'd be up till 2 in the morning. That was back in the terrible time when I played Overwatch. Good thing I don't play that game anymore. Fortunately, I know some friends who still play Overwatch. I've gotten some of my friends out of it, but I can only stop so much. Context. Yeah, if you remove the context of TW, some of those messages are questionable. But, like, basically, like, I don't know, I haven't reverse searched my messages there, so I can't say for fact. But, like, I don't post there outside of, like, asking for information or, like, answering someone's information. Get some puppets to choose between. Nice, nice. I was thinking, because, I'm getting close to being done with Devil of Decline. I was because when I'm done with that, I think I'm going to do Fantasy Maiden Wars. I will see for sure after that, but I'm really, really tempted to try some hardcore Nuzlocke of Puppet Dance. With the end goal being, the Getsu sisters. As dangerous as that idea is. Because the little bit of experimenting I've done with Puppet Dance Hardcore Nuzlocke was very fun. The box have its full translation yet. I don't know. I don't even know how many Fantasy Maiden Wars there are. I know there's a few. I've never really looked too in-depth at those. Besides, I know of their existence. It's fully translated, I'll believe 11. I know that's sometimes it's a blasphemous thing to do. Believe 11? Ugh. Ugh. Also, I feel like in Lost Branch, Sakuya is actually the best character in the entire game. Because I've had back-to-back just completely broken Sakuya runs. Therefore, I think she's the best character in the game. Sometimes you're just not running on the proper amount of sleep. Oh, I should go pee. Also, today was a day to be in the TRS Discord. Oh boy. The Touhou Replay Showcase one. There's a complete box combined version of the game. I'll look into it whenever I get to the game. Probably soon. I'm getting close to being done with Devil of Decline. TRS Discord dude. Entertain me in a very boring morning. You see, here's the problem this morning. I'm at work. I'm not at work all day today because it's a slow day. In fact, I was going to leave at like noon. Here's the problem. Because I had a semi that was going to show up at 11, take care of him, and get out of there by about noon. The problem was it was earlier than that, and I was bored out of my mind because all I was doing was just mindless cleaning because there was nothing to do. And then there was TRS to keep me entertained with a very long, drawn-out conversation that started with an individual talking about what was the term he used? I don't know. It was just out of the. It was just an out of the blue like paragraph. Basically just talking about how I could go back and find the exact. I kind of feel like I don't want to paraphrase, but I will a bit. Essentially, it's something. No miss grinds are fine, but no bomb runs feel. He didn't use the term lame. It was something. No offense to people who run it, but LNB. I don't understand LNB grinds. Something they're lame. Nothing seems not the average. There are people that do exist, but no, this isn't some guy who's out here saying LNNs are like, oh, that's where the grind is at. This was an anti-no bomb just in general, whether it's a no bomb, no miss run, or just a no bomb. And it was just kind of like out there. And ultimately, it ended up looking like it was basically just engagement bait. But I was also bored, like I said, all morning. So I had fun going along with it. It just ended up evolving into him going on about how self-imposed challenges are uninteresting to him, and how basically only like developer-intended challenges he found worth his while. Although there was a bit of questionable reasoning in differentiating no miss versus no bomb. But no, the TRS is not very elitist. That itself is a self-imposed challenge, yes. And this guy was talking about no miss specifically. And that was honestly where the biggest, like, catch in his argument was, but I was not in the right positioning. Wah. Yeah. None of this is saying anything negative about the TRS community as a whole, rather than one individual who isn't even necessarily a major Touhou player, but more just an other shmup player who's looking at records or histories. As long as the games are individually translated, because that's all that matters to me for the Fantasy Maiden Wars, right? Yeah, I can't read the moon runes, so... There's a question. No. You don't get to apologize. Your sins are apparent, and you will be sent to the gulag. Oh, that's the wrong one! Oh, one of these days, Witch King. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be back in a minute. I'll do like one or two more before I move on. I'm back. But essentially, all that needs to be known is if you hear me over the next while going on about Touhou survival is lame, yes, that is a direct line. Self-imposed self-imposed challenges, then note that I am likely making fun of something, because I probably will do that over the next at least a week, because it was very entertaining. Not enough fanfare for the LNN, SMH in my head. It's a worthless grind. What up, Pops? Appreciate the good luck. Although I feel like I'm gonna need more than good luck today. Okay, literally everyone that does go for LN, yup. If you play an easy, like, honestly, what are you, a baby? Right? I just have to be careful with my words, because otherwise someone's going to take it out of context, get a single clip, and then be like, look at this guy! Not that the internet would ever do that. There's only nice people here, if only that were true. Yeah, it's not my day. I should screenshot some of that conversation later. Put it in the Discord. Like, just because I think it'd be funny. We'll see. I don't want to go too far with it, though. You're raging at the guy. You're not alone. Although, like I said, it was very nice that this morning at work was so boring that the TRS Discord actually popping off was like the way of getting me in through the morning. It's only 3 a.m. for you. Have a good one, Alan. Appreciate you being here. I'm gonna pass out. I'm not going to pass out. Okay, I'm gonna do like call shortly. I feel. But yes, Alan was there throughout the conversation this morning as well, and it was a doozy. I'm just hesitant to screenshot too much of the conversation. I don't want to put it in the Discord and have like family or someone just like actually start like potentially overreact to it. I'd rather keep it as a funny comment and just moving on with that. I don't want to actually delve into a massive conversation about it. Although I could divulge into the conversation of PvE. Fonzo, you got me. Call me the next Keemstar. Go make as much drama as we can, boys, and then we record on it. Okay, Yamami, why would you do that to me? I'm like half asleep at this point. Like the closest you could get to drunk without actually taking any alcohol. The problem is, it's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I can go for another 10 minutes. And then it's 10:10, it's like, I can do like 10 minutes. And it's 10:20 last night. I could do, just five more minutes. And I'm like, I gotta get one more item draw, come on. And then next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock. You're like, I'm gonna hate myself. Oh my goodness, Dave, oh my goodness. Just remember, kids, what you gotta learn to do is if you see someone ever grinding for an LNB, you show up and you say, why are you grinding for that? That's a lame achievement. If you see someone grinding for score runs, you go in there and be like, I don't like scoring. Scoring's boring. You see someone speedrunning Super Mario 64, go in there and be like, this speedrun sucks. Always create conversation, especially around negativity. If Be toxic and make other lives miserable because it makes you happy. Yeah, they see item list. Impossible spell card item list is gonna go worse than these runs, dude. Holy moly. Parse. That's the wrong direction. She goes left then right, dum-dum. What people like Parsi? Character type. I've had this conversation before. The I can fix her. That type of people. People really like yandere type characters. People like tsundere type characters. People will really like this type of character. She's very popular with very specific communities. People will really like Parsi. Parsi's jealous, pessimistic, hates the world. Dude, she's just like me, for real, for real. I can fix her, right? Yeah, being an SA character also helps. She's been around for a while. So, like, she's been in the Touhou scene for a very long time. And she appeals a lot to certain types of character, people's interests. Did you fix Parsi's jealousy? That's a non-issue. It doesn't matter if you can. It's having the mindset to say, I can fix her. Okay, people have done this all the time throughout anime-related things. It's nothing unusual. You have a character like that, I can fix it. You distract the crowd. You have to worst girlfriend? No. You don't understand. I can fix her. Some people find that hot. Some people find those details hot. See, why would you want to fix it? That's the thing. Whether or not that's ironic or not, doesn't matter. It's like, there are people who really like that taste. And I'm not here saying whether or not that taste is bad. What I am saying is, there is a very notable subset of people. It's specific. Here's the thing. It's like Yuka fans. Whether or not she's like the most popular or questionable character of all time doesn't matter. It's just, it attracts a very peculiar subset of people. Like there are a lot of fans of a lot of characters. But like certain ones really attract notable types of people, right? Like, let's look at it this way. Yamame fans. There's a number of them. Yamame's cute. But people like her. There aren't... You don't see... Like, you don't think of, oh, Yamame fans. Like, you don't think that. When you see people talk about Yamame, you see an image of Spider and people go, cute. And then people are like, oh, I like Yamame. You know, you see someone like Yuka, Parsi, and you're like, you deal with their fans in the community for a bit. You just want toxic relationships. Yeah, honestly, that's probably pretty accurate. Is one of the horniest fan bases. Yeah, I didn't necessarily want to say it specifically, but like that attracts a lot of people. The Yuka, Parsi definitely helps that category a lot. There's a lot of horny Parsi fans. I feel like that's one reason why Parsi gets a lot of shit, specifically the Parsi Yuki one. A lot of horny fans. Fans, every single one are degenerates. Every single one asterisk, you know. Like, it's not all of them. It's only like 99%. Hey, like Yuka. Although I wouldn't consider myself necessarily a Yuka fan. I'm no simp. Am I the one who finds it questionable if someone puts, like in their bio or something, insert like XX character Stan, like insert character name Stan? Oh, I hate. Like, you sound like they're gonna be questionable. Yeah, I feel like Parsi is kind of an extreme version of Yuka almost. Or at least of, like, that situation. Of, like, the people... Of, like, why people like them. So I think Parsi ends up being a little more extreme. If you're Yuka fans in this chat, I won't be trampled on. I've seen Family Team send a message about people in his chat before literally talking about like, wanting to be stepped on by Yuka. My fans are also horny as hell, yeah. That's why you try to learn to separate yourself from people to an extent. There's a lot of characters with very horny fans. I mean, every character has that to some degree, but there are some that really stand out, of course, right? The Sakuya, Sinai, Tsukasa, Ranshama, Yuka, Parsi, I'd argue. I'd almost say Tenchi, but that's just because of my exposure to 11, so... Yeah, Clown Piece, I don't really feel that. I mean, I've definitely seen people like that before, but I definitely don't. It's not nearly as pronounced as some of the others, right? At least from my experience. I don't browse the Touhou community that much, so. Oh, except Clown Piece. To be honest, I don't really feel like I've seen that many horny Clown Piece fans. I've probably seen more horny Chirino fans, but maybe that's just because, like, she's been around for forever and is very popular, but... Caffeine addict, what? Caffeine addict type. Well, I just had large amount of caffeine 2 days in a row now, because up until tonight, I have not gotten a lot of sleep this week, so we are popped up on caffeine to try to keep me awake for the next 2 hours. Damikos, are all Yuka fans horny? Can you attest or deny to this? Hisami, ooh, yeah, Hisami has really pulled that. Unfortunately, I don't really engage in that much social content, so because she's really new, I don't really see it as much. It's definitely not as pronounced as, like, Tsukasa. But they're, like, the Hisami has attracted the horny fans, like, ad nauseum to the people who like that. Why do so many people draw Oku with big tits? Like, I've seen big tit and little tit, like, Touhou, like, drawings of all Touhou characters before. But, like, Oku's one of those ones where it's, like, for whatever reason, I just, like, a lot of people draw a very top-heavy Oku. It's like, okay, you see big boob like Yukari. It's like, okay, that makes sense. To an extent. But, like, the Oku has always been, like, the one that is, like, I find the weirdest. You know, I could complain about not having a good Satori, but, like, with my status today, I'm honestly just glad to be here and fighting Satori. Shit, they can't. I mean, I guess that could equate. I don't know. Wow, I just ran right into that. Think dumb equals big tits. That explains why Yukari has such big tits. Now I understand. Hisame's attracted so many fans. I'll make a comment on that Hisame one. She has a lot of fans on a little place called Twitter and Reddit. I don't really engage it though, so I don't really see it that often, but I've seen it leak into other places and people talk about them. I've seen people who engage in those places talk about them. And I feel like the reasons for people being very in love with Hisame and stuff are pretty twofold. Pretty apparent. But she's attracted a strange denizen of people because of two reasons. Oh, this is... I forgot what part this was. I thought this was where the two yin-yangs pop up. I just did that part. Oh, brain is melting. I feel like there are two big reasons for the Hisame thing. A, she's very horny. And she gets looked at as that because of some of her dialogue. I did not time that down. And B, Yuri fans. Well, I traded. I had to try to time that one down like almost all the way, so... It is what it is. I just go play soccer at this point. This isn't even gonna kill on this wave. Oh, live it at least. I think one thing about that, though, Gypsum, is that it's like, Touhou has a lot of horny fans. In fact, in terms of pure numbers, because it's been around for so long, it has a lot in terms of mass. But Touhou, compared to some things,
Blue Archive.
has a lot of non-horny fans. So there's a lot of engaging with it that's not horniness. So you get a lot of other interaction. Yeah, like I said, in terms of pure mass, Touhou has a very large questionable ceiling. But that doesn't tell the whole story. When you look on a per capita basis, if you use the percentages instead of just pure numbers, if you have a town of 1 million people and 1,000 of them are horny, is that town hornier than a town with 100 people and all of them are horny? That's a weird analogy. She's kind of cute. To be fair, not just gacha games, but yeah, 100%. I use Blue Archive as an example because it's a very easy to use example, I feel. But it's definitely not the only thing. I think that's another reason why gacha games tend to be predatory in nature, is partially because of that aspect. Is they love to appeal to that side because it's so easy to. You don't find Zune artwork sexy? Have you ever looked at that Mountain of Faith Sinai art and been like, oh, damn. Ooh, that's getting me kind of hot. Ooh. Oh. Shoddy. Dude, the USD Sakuya has got me looking weird. Got me feeling strange. Also, that was a triple spin. Wow, that was a Neil Liore. Yeah, Touhou lacks a lot of official fan service. You have, what, the beach scene from Silent Sinner? And you got, like, Byakuran jiggle physics and, like, the fighting games. And, like, that's it? Which is good. I like it that way. You know, if people want to engage with it, engage with it on the fan side of things. Read SSIV. The Archive is an anomaly. Have you ever heard of Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, or Zenless Zone Zero? Azure Lane. Azure Lane is definitely... Yep, that one also fits in that list. Like, that's one thing I like about that I respect a lot about Touhou is the fact that, like, you know, if people want that type of content, I'm not going to necessarily say, oh, you should, you know, don't engage with that content. People like it. It's not necessarily like don't engage with it, but like, it's great that it's not like the official content. It's not pushed by any official content. So like, if you don't want to have any fan service stuff, like, you know, you can very easily in Touhou get around with just not engaging with it. But you can if you want, and you don't if you don't. Like, I don't know how many people get off to the shmups. Like, someone might. Like, honestly, there's probably someone who does, but like... I don't know someone who plays LOL K and just... Ooh, PDH has got me acting weird.
Yeah.
Title of 18.5. That's what, 100th Black Market, right? I don't know what the game is in Japanese. The 100 Black Market. I've known it before. I don't know it off the top of my head. That was an easily makeable dodge. That's the sass part about that one. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. It's been a hot minute since I played 18.5. It's not a game you hear about that often. Oh, bulletophilia something? No, I remember making the comment about that because my first exposure to 18.5 was Akatsuki Records' Gotcha Gotcha, their song, which is based after a theme from that game, of course. And they used the word bulletophilia, and I was like, that's an interesting term, and then it's actually in like the title of the game. Now that I think about it. That was unpleasant, the angle that the blue ball was. I definitely could have played around it, but I was so locked into my lane. I was like, this lane's gonna work, but put myself in a very tight lane. You know, I've complained about before, but I'm going to complain about it again. You know what's one of my least favorite things in life? Those damn Koreans. Because they turn my favorite game of all time, Library of Ruina, and they're like, what do we do with the sequel? I have an idea. How will you make a fucking shitty gacha game? Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll never forgive the Koreans for it. But, you know. That's the thing. One of my good friends is half Korean. And like, I'll make Asian jokes from time to time, and like a lot of people in our friend group will make Asian jokes from time to time. But like, I've never met anyone who'll make Asian jokes more than he does. But damn, those Koreans just get their just gotchas. Like, just come on. It's like you have something so like Liber of Runa is. I love that game. Holy moly, one of my favorite stories. Gameplay wise, it was probably my favorite game of all time. And they're like, how do we make a follow up to this? Gotcha game. Well, that's an L&B. You know, honestly, I'm quite happy with that. Just get something on the day. Now it's time to go play some soccer. Oh, my speedup's broken. We gotta go through this the long way. FGO fanbase 9% horny? What are you talking about? No, they're not. Yes, they are. Did they spite me? Oof. I was like, they had announced Limbus Company, and like, I kind of had to take a bunch of like the translations, like translate promos because it's all in Korean. So like, I was like, oh, because I got into Library of Runa late in its like life cycle. I was like, oh, I love this game so much. And then I heard, oh, they're working on like Limbus Company. I was like, oh, I was so looking forward to it. And then they're like, yeah, it's a gotcha. I'm like, that was back before I had completely given up on gotchas. Like nowadays, I refuse to touch gotchas. I'm completely anti-gotcha.